The Traveler's Rest. The rain drummed steadily against the window panes, a soothing rhythm that filled the small, dimly lit cabin with a sense of calm. Inside, nestled deep in the forest and far from the nearest town, a lone traveler named Elias settled into an overstuffed armchair. He was a man of middle age, with silver threading through his dark hair and a ruggedness about him that spoke of many years on the road. His eyes, however, held a quiet warmth that softened his otherwise stern appearance. Elias had spent the better part of his life wandering from place to place, never staying long enough to call anywhere home. But tonight, as the autumn storm raged outside, he found himself longing for something he couldn't quite name. He set aside his weathered pack-can with a sigh of contentment, placed a log on the fire. The flames eagerly licked at the dry wood, casting a golden glow that chased away the shadows. From a nearby shelf, Elias retrieved an old record player, its surface polished smooth by time and care. He carefully selected a vinyl from the collection he carried with him, one of the few possessions he never parted with. The soft crackle as the needle met the record brought a smile to his lips, and soon the gentle strains of a piano filled the cabin. As the music played, Elias prepared his favorite drink, a steaming cup of spiced tea, infused with honey and a hint of citrus. He cupped the mug in his hands, savoring the warmth that spread through his fingers. With the fire crackling and the music filling the air, he felt an unfamiliar peace settle over him. Elias reached into his back and pulled out a leather-bound journal, its pages filled with notes, sketches, and stories from his travels. Tonight, though, he didn't feel like writing. Instead, he opened a book he had picked up from a quaint little shop in a distant town, its cover worn and faded. It was a collection of stories, some of which he had read countless times before, but that never lost their charm. He flipped through the pages, his eyes skimming over the familiar words, until he found a passage that resonated with his mood. The story was about a man who, after years of searching, found a place where he truly belonged. It was a simple tale, but one that spoke to Elias in a way few things did. As the night wore on, the storm outside began to wane, the rain tapering off to a gentle drizzle. But Elias remained by the fire, lost in the world of his book and the music that played softly in the background. He knew that come morning he would have to leave the cabin and continue his journey. But for now he allowed himself to enjoy the rare stillness, the feeling of being anchored in one place, if only for a short while. For the first time in years, Elias felt a flicker of contentment, a sense that maybe, just maybe, he could one day find a place to call home. But until then, the cabin would be his sanctuary, a place where the restless traveler could rest his weary soul, even if just for a night. The end.